Hi, my name is Gunnar Sergeant Monk. I am the Staff Non-Commissioned Officer in charge of RSS Gresham, which is located here in the Portland area. Today, we're going to be talking about 5 things that are misunderstood or misinterpreted about the Marines when you are first joining. But before we get to that, I want to talk to you about the scholarship that we have. Here are the requirements for it. You just have to be 1, a U.S. citizen, 2, ages at least 17 and no older than 23. You will be required to do a physical fitness test, and you must obtain a combined score on the SATs of 1,000 or a 22 composite score on the ACTs. If you fall into this category and you need some help, or perhaps have your whole entire education covered, there is going to be a link below. Click on that and explore the different things that are out there for you. And I guess the biggest question would be $180,000. How would you like to have that as far as your education money that you could be potentially qualified for? And if you're qualified, why not submit for it? Because that is just one more thing, or at least one less thing you'll have to worry about in the future. Again, if you are a U.S. citizen, at least 17 and no older than 23, you will have to do a physical fitness test with the Marine Corps and have an SAT combined score of 1,000 and a composite of 22 on the ACTs. You may qualify for this. All right, now going into the 5 things that are misunderstood or misinterpreted about the Marines. There are a few categories we're going to hit up. Very first one is education. And then we'll talk about open contracts with the Marines and we can't guarantee jobs. We'll go into the easiest branch. Is the Marine Corps the easiest branch to get into? I believe people actually have that idea. Next, you're going to go to war. If you join the Marines, you're going to go to war. And lastly, Marines are intense. I'm going to have the help of a few individuals from my office, but the very first one I'll tackle myself, and it's regarding education. For some of you don't know, I do have my bachelor's degree. I am currently working on my MBA through Dayton University. I got my BA from Ashford. I started out at University of Oregon using tuition assistance. Tuition assistance allows you the opportunity to go to a school. You will get to your command. First off, you get to your command. You would get a piece of paper from the respective institute that you're trying to enroll in. They're very much familiar with tuition assistance. You would take that paper, you go to your squad leader, platoon sergeant, and commanding officer. They would sign off on it, acknowledging that at some point in time during your service or during your tenure at that duty station, you're going to be cutting out early to go to the school. Now, you are required to do one thing while you are, I'll say 2 things, while you're enrolled in the school. You have to be there. You have to show up because you are given time by your command to go to the school during working hours. And I guess the second would be you have to get a C or above. If you get a C or above, tuition assistance is for free. You have up to $4,500 a year in order to tackle that education. So I guess that hits up tuition assistance. Next one is the GI Bill. Tuition assistance, by the way, is given to Army, Air Force, Navy. If I missed the branch, I'm sorry. Marine Corps. GI Bill. All right, GI Bill. This is a fantastic avenue of getting your education that you don't have to pay for. You can start using it as soon as you are out of the service with a respective honorable or other than honorable discharge. Don't quote me on that. I will say honorable, but other than honorable might be a case-by-case basis. Now, what is the GI Bill and what will it do for you? Currently, let's pretend you are in the Portland area. I'm saying this because it's a reference point for me. I'm from here and I love this place. I joined the Marines, I got out, I came back here, and I want to go to Portland State University. What the GI Bill is going to do is going to pay for 36 months of education at that school. And while it's paying for your education and the stipend for books and all that, you're also going to be giving money for boarding purposes. So you'll be rated at according to the zip code, how much it's going to cost to live here. And it is derived from a pay scale of E5. And if I don't quote me, I'm gonna say quote me on this. I should know what I'm talking about at this point, but it is an E5 with dependents. So you'll get paid roughly $2,100 a month for your housing purposes. Now you don't got to spend all of it. You can pocket all of it. You can live at your friend's house, your mom's house, your dad's house, your cousin's house. No matter who you live with, but that money is going to be going into your account, and you do with it what you will. And going back to the 36 months of education, you don't have to be confined to that state school. There's other schools out there. If you want to go to an Ivy League school, Harvard, not Stanford, you might as well be on there, but Harvard, Columbia, and Yale, all those cool schools that are Ivy League schools that may cost more, I'm almost certain that the GI Bill will cover all that for 36 months. So something to think about while you are looking into the military, that that idea that the GI Bill is for other branches is not necessarily true. All the branches, including the Marine Corps, can use the GI Bill as well as tuition assistance. Now, that would pretty much cover it. I think I covered all of it. And if you have any questions on that, you can feel free to hit us up. Email me. I'm going to put my email down there. You are more than welcome to email me. You can call the office. I'll leave the number below as well. And there's a link to our Facebook as well as our Instagram. Again, if you have any questions about this, we're more than happy to answer your questions. And thank you for listening.
Okay, here we go. Story time with Gunnery Sergeant Ellis. The first thing we're going to talk about is, can the Marine Corps guarantee your job? I'm sure you've heard at some point, hey, if you join the Marines, you can't choose your job. You're just going to get whatever the Marine Corps is going to get you. So I hope you want to be a cook in the Marine Corps. Not that that's a bad job, but for some reason people have that idea. We're going to talk about that right now. Is that true or not? So the reason I said story time is we're going to take a look at some literature here. This is every office has this. It's a book of all their contracts and all the information about each job in the Marine Corps. We use the term job program and MOS. You've probably heard MOS before, military occupational specialty, but in the Marine Corps we say job program, because when you go on active duty, you're going to choose the job program and the Marine Corps is going to choose the MOS. All right, but that seems weird, but let me explain that right now. It's not weird, it makes sense. So, for example, let's say you want to work as in the aircraft industry or the aircraft field in the Marine Corps. What you're going to be doing is choosing the job program AF, Aviation Mechanic. Within that job field or job program, there is a lot of different MOSs. For example, I'm going to read off just a short list of these so you can understand what's in here, okay? So we have CH-53 helicopter mechanic, UH-AH-1 helicopter mechanic, MV-22 tilt rotor mechanic, helicopter power plant, T-64 helicopter power plant, T-400 to 700, tilt rotor dynamic components. Over here we got fixed wing aircraft. We got the aircraft mechanic for the AV-8. We have the fixed wing aircraft mechanic for the KC-130, F-18 Joint Strike Fighter, and just goes on and on and on. And so, yes, you're not choosing the individual aircraft that you're working on. The Marine Corps is going to choose that based on what we need at the time. And you probably don't know which one you want to work on anyway. You just want to work with aircraft. And so if you choose the program AF, if you qualify for it, of course, then that is going to be very easy for you to lock on for yourself. Does that make sense?
All right. Marines is the easiest branch to get into. I'll tell you like this. If someone's disqualified, we refer them to somebody else, and there's a good chance that they'll get into another branch. But let me tell you those things that's going to take us to defer them to another branch. First off, tattoos, right? You have a tattoo on your wrist or below, or you have one that's right here and above your neck. Those are disqualifiers. There are waivers for a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about. There's waivers out there, but really depending on who you are and what you're able to do within society, that kind of gives us a gauge on whether we can work with you or not regarding these waivers. So those tattoos right there, and including your elbow, right around this area, including your elbow, those are disqualifiers. They require either one, we're just going to refer you to somebody else because the tattoo's too egregious. Or 2, we're going to have to get a waiver. So get a hold of your recruiter within your area and ask them what they can do for you. Police involvement. We're looking for individuals with high moral compasses or characters, somebody that you would trust your wallet with. If you have a felony regarding what it is, your circumstance, or what was charged with, there are waivers out there, but not all of it is waivable. Well, if we can't work with you, we refer you to somebody else. But traffic tickets we can work with, different things that just don't have a felony, we can certainly work with you. But there are waivers for everything, and if we can't get you a waiver because there's just too many questions, we'll just refer you to another branch. GED versus high school education. We want typically an individual who is 1, a senior in high school, or 2, a graduate of traditional high school or alternative high school. If you are an individual that has a GED and you have graduated or finished the 10th grade, we can work with you. But those are few and far in between. We usually just refer those individuals to a different branch. Physical fitness. Physical fitness is a big one. Depending on your height and weight, there is a body fat composition that we go by. And if you are above those regulations that we have, we will refer you to somebody else. There's certain individuals out there that they have it in here, and we'll work with them. We'll definitely work with them. We do have sessions here that deal with working out every Wednesday at 10. You might have seen a video on that, I'm not sure. Wednesday, PT at 10. We might move those to Saturday because school's about to start up, but we want maximum participation. But yeah, the height and weight, that right there can keep somebody from enlisting within the Marines. Also, pull-ups, crunches, and that 1.5 miles. We won't send individuals to boot camp if they can't perform an adequately on those exercises. For instance, a male doing only 2 pull-ups will not go to boot camp. Not at this office. They will not go to boot camp. Male or female not doing 45 crunches in 1 minute, we probably won't send them to boot camp. Although the rule is as many crunches as you can do in 2 minutes, we cut that down to a minute because we want you to have zero worries about your physical fitness when you go to boot camp. It makes for a lot better experience. When it comes to the 1.5 miles, male, female, we want you to run less than 13:30. Usually those individuals going to boot camp from this office are running the 1.5 miles somewhere around 12:45 to 13 minutes. Then again, those are our set standards at this office. It's a little bit different, and I'm not going to tell you that. I want you to do your research or go down there, comment below, or send us an email, give us a call, whatever it is that you have as far as a question, we can answer it. And those 4 things right there will help you determine whether the Marines is the easiest branch to get into. I'll tell you this much. If a person from another recruiter refers someone to this branch, there's a good chance that they're already disqualified with them, which means they're super disqualified with us. With us, if we disqualify somebody, we refer them to another branch. There's a good chance that they're going to be able to work with them. So you can answer that question yourself. If you've had any sort of experiences, you tell us. You can comment below, give us a call. We're curious. Tell us your experiences. That's all I got for you. Thank you for listening.
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is, do all Marines go to war? All right, hey, let's be honest. That's what the Marine Corps is here to do, right? We provide national security and defense for the United States of America. Of course, we train for combat. Every Marine is a trained rifleman. Every Marine goes to combat training after finishing boot camp. Every Marine is required to requalify with the rifle every year. So we know that the Marines can fight. Every Marine is trained to be effective in combat. But is every Marine an infantryman? Is every Marine's full-time job going to be focused on being out there on the front lines? The answer is no. Okay? It kind of boils down to about 20% of the Marine Corps is infantry or combat arms, and the rest of the Marine Corps is considered support. And so that's how it breaks down. So the vast majority of Marines are not really looking to be out on the front lines during their time in the Marine Corps. Could they, for example, infantry, obviously, if you want to be an infantryman, if you have a passion for serving that role, for defending your country, and just being a part of that experience, then you would have to choose the job infantry, and you're going to go to special training to make you a professional in that field. when I work with infantry guys and I see them out there in their operational mode, it's incredible. They're absolute professionals. That is their full-time job. They're passionate about what they do. The coordination they have, the training that they've been through, it's very obvious to anyone who sees them that is their full-time job. Now, every other Marine who's not an infantry, who's not in combat arms, that is not their full-time job. They have the basics, like we said, but they have another specialty that they need to perform so that the Marine Corps can support those Marines who are out there on the front lines. So, does every Marine go to war? That's the question. So we have what's called combat deployments if we're in a time of conflict like that, and potentially every Marine could be deployed to a combat zone, but I guarantee you're going to be doing the same job that you were doing in the States before you got shipped out. And so it's not like we're going to take a mechanic or air crew guy or whatever it is that we have, all these different jobs that support logistics, there's communications, intelligence. Those Marines could be deployed to a combat zone, but they're not going to be just taken out from what they're doing and thrown on the front lines. They're all trained in how to defend themselves and defend each other if something goes down, but they're going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. The Marine Corps didn't pay all this money to train them in a certain job and then not use them for that. So every Marine who gets deployed is going to be essentially staying within their MOS, doing their specialty every day, day in, day out. Sometimes is that going to take them toward the front lines? Like, if you're a truck driver in the Marine Corps, yeah, you could drive out there, but that's not your job is not to be out there to fight. Does that make sense? If something happens, you're going to be ready to deal with it. But that just kind of depends on what happens. And so that's why every Marine is trained. But so I hope that answers the question. Does every Marine go to war? The answer is every Marine is ready to go, but not every Marine is tasked with performing that combat function. Thank you.
The fifth thing that is misunderstood or misinterpreted about the Marines is regarding intensity. Are Marines intense?
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support and defend. The Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic.
This is the moment when recruits finally become Marines. When the Eagle Globe and anchors press firmly into dirt-streaked palms, when exhausted hands feel its cool surface and clutch it with a sense of relief and pride, these Marines know they've made it. The fight has been for this moment. Marines don't simply become, they are made. And the making of Marines closely mirrors the making of the EGAs they receive. They are forged, with purpose, by a recruit training process that's been perfected for a century. It's the mold the United States Marine Corps uses to shape warriors. And when recruits step onto the yellow footprints, they're stepping into our furnace, our fire. For 13 weeks, we put them through the toughest challenges they've ever faced. The first battles they fight to become Marines. Physical ability isn't the only test. Recruits must also overcome their fear, their doubt, their weaknesses. The final challenge, the crucible. Here's where we push recruits to their limits to make them stronger, braver, more determined. We apply incredible heat and they emerge as Marines. Just as the Eagle Globe and anchor is anodized, polished, and coated to make it finished and durable, the Corps will continuously challenge these new Marines to deepen their expertise, endurance, and resolve. This proud symbol serves as an ever-present reminder of the fire they've been through, as an embodiment of the legacy left by those who have fought before them, and as a symbol of their commitment to fight and win our nation's battles.